Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1 minute time check, stations.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield.
Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This is Hawk Talk with Jensen. Presented by Oak Knoll Retirement Community.
Also brought to you by
988. There is hope with a 988 Lifeline. Call or text 988 for free, 24/7. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Honda, to see how Honda crushes the competition, see your local Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Oak Knoll, an active life care community powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Here is your host, Rob Brooks.
Hard to believe, but here we come down the stretch of the regular season. Just 3 games remain, a couple at home, and it'll all start on Sunday with number 3 UCLA. We'll be in Carver Hawkeye Arena. That is a 1 o'clock tip. And the Hawkeyes split a couple of games this past week. A victory against Rutgers, and of course a dramatic game that we'll talk about against Ohio State. Hawks fall in overtime, unfortunately, but a lot of good things to talk about, and certainly a memorable final couple of minutes that we won't forget in that fourth quarter. Just ran out of gas in the overtime period, and Ohio State ended up finishing on a 7-0 run and outscored the Hawks 12-4. And Jen, good to be back here at the
welcome
Watermill
back. You've been
bar, right?
Flying all over the place. You've been two-timing on me with those men, Rob.
And you're flying all over the place too, huh?
We have been.
That's for sure. I kind of wonder sometimes what city I'm in.
I know, I do too. Like you go to your hotel room,
wake up,
and it's
look
like,
out the window.
Right.
Okay, where am I? Where am I today? And obviously we're in Columbus on Sunday. Had a shoot-around with that early start. That's a little bit different. Monday noon start for President's Day. Had a good crowd, of course, with Ohio State. Top 10 team. Check in at number 8 again in the AP poll this week. And Ohio State got off to a really good start, but got to the halftime break and, okay, just kind of hanging around. Haven't done anything really great yet, but great things were to come in the third and fourth quarters.
Yeah. You know, when we talked at halftime, I was, obviously disappointed with how we started the game. And we tried to do some things differently. The only other new game that we had on Eastern time was at Michigan State, and we lost by 2 there. So, I mean, obviously you always try to tweak things. At Michigan State, we could not get into the Breslin Center the night before to shoot because they had a men's game. So here at Columbus, we at least could fly in and we got to shoot at the arena. So we did that Sunday night. I had our strength coach who does a great job, Lindsay Alexander, had a little, stretching and cardio workout that morning. I thought, okay, at least we can get a little bit ready to go. But then when we started, it just we just were a little flat. So at halftime, I really challenged them. But boy, how they came out and responded. I was so proud of the way they battled and they came back, and that last couple of minutes of regulation. They had to hit some big shots, but they also had to play some D. So I really couldn't be more proud of their effort. We did enough to win it, but we also didn't quite do enough to get it. So you have to focus on the positive, and I think there were a lot of positives in that second half.
And especially that third quarter, because you're right, really seemed to get that transition game going, got some easy baskets, took care of the pressure, and won that quarter 23-17 to really set yourself up for an opportunity in that fourth quarter, though it did come down to that last few minutes. And I jotted this down 12 at the 138 mark, 10 at 110, 4 with 24, and then obviously cut it to 2 with 14 seconds. And then Lucy knocks down those 2 free throws. I don't know how many times that first one bounced on the rim, but it hung there a few times, but dropped in, and then she swished the second one. But just there's so few of those moments where just 3 after 3, and both of Lucy's hit so little net that it looked like it didn't hardly went in the basket, just on target and on fire.
I mean, you have to get a little lucky to hit those. She had a run. She was going sideways and hit one, and to put yourselves in positions, some of that had to go in. She was due, I think, in my opinion. I think eventually the laws of averages come back into your favor. But I think, Lucy is a really great competitor. And when you get to the end of the games, everybody stops thinking. And that's the beauty of what can happen, right? You're just doing everything in your power to, will your team back. And I was extremely happy for Lucy that she hit those 2 free throws. I really thought those free throws, not just for that moment, but I thought it was really important for all the moments to come. Because I know, there's nobody more frustrated that she isn't hitting free throws better than Lucy. And certainly that's been a major point of, just disappointment. I mean, I've looked back. I can't tell you how many times I've lost sleep, and I look at that free throw stat, and it's probably cost us 4 games, right? And it cost us, again, we shot 70%. Our goal is 75%. Had we shot those a little bit better in the regulation, we would have won, right? But I think the pressure that she's under, for her to hit those 2 to take us into overtime, I would like to think that that's going to really come up big later on when we need it. So she was big time in clutch, and Kylie Feuerbach, I think it really hurt us when we didn't have her in overtime. And we had our freshmen that were playing some minutes, and I tried to keep them lifted up. I said the positive thing, for Tegan and Leah, you were in at crunch time. The tough part is maybe it didn't always go as well. We made some, errors, I said, but you got to keep building and growing. So hopefully, we've done enough to keep their positive attitudes, and, we can keep moving on that little hill, because I think we've been doing a pretty good job. We won 6 out of the last 7, and I'm really proud of them for that.
And Aaliyah hit a big 3, ended up hitting 2 of them, and had 9 points. But you mentioned Kylie. How good was she coming down the stretch, too? That up and under move with the left hand, knocked down a 3-pointer after having a couple go in and out. They were halfway down, came out in the first half.
And I thought the big little layup she hit when she got fouled with the hip to the floor, that could have been called the foul, too. It should have been a 3-point play. But I thought her ability to finish with that was really, really big, and she hit a nice big 3. But her defense is what really kind of sets our tone. We weren't as good defensively. I'm going to credit Kevin McGuff. He's a great coach from Ohio State. He's a pretty good tactician. We've been doing some differences. We've been icing ball screens, a different strategy on the wing. And we will sometimes ice at the rails, which is at the top of the key. But I'd rather prefer to flood there, which is you sag back a little bit with your 5. But he took all of his ball screen action away from the wings, and he put it all up at the rails. And we just didn't have our aggressiveness to start out. So their freshman, number 22, Jelani Cambridge, I've seen her go hot, and I've seen her be really off. 4 shots, everything's off to the left or to the right. And yesterday, I think when we started a little bit slow, unfortunately, she just really was able to get a confidence, and we just couldn't keep her where we needed to keep her.
You talk about that free throw line. Ohio State went there 38 times.
Oh, really?
8:26.
I wasn't familiar.
Well, I knew you knew that. I knew you knew that stat. But gave you an opportunity, too, because they had a tough time knocking down both of theirs. They had 1 out of 2 many times, which gave you a shot there coming down the stretch in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that was, there were a couple of their kids that were hitting him. They don't have a great percentage overall throughout the year. But, yeah, we did most everything. We just didn't remember personnel issues as well as we should have in the first half. That's really the only thing that I really critiqued when I watched the film again. But I'm just really focused on the positive. And in fact, today, I just showed them a 5-minute tape, a highlight reel of everything they did right. And I told our coaches, I said, when they come in individually, then you show them where they missed a box out or they didn't have the right coverage. But everything we saw today was, the threes that Lucy hit, the and one that Sid got twice, the defensive stop that, that Kylie got. Because I think going into this week, it's a week we don't have a game. But it's, you got to sit a few days. You can't feel better on Thursday night. You have to wait till Sunday. And then, of course, we have one of the toughest tasks we'll have all year in playing in third-ranked UCLA, and they have a 6'7" center. And, they've only gotten beaten once, and that's by, it is by USC, which we have beaten, but it's a tall task. So we really got to keep our kids up right now to make sure that they don't get too down about the game yesterday.
Especially with Sydney, another double-double.
Yep.
And you've got Lucy's last several games, 28, 14, 32, 27, 27. You always knew it was there. And now you feel like there's some consistency there that you can pretty much rely on that night after night. Not necessarily 32, but you're going to play well.
Yeah, I think that's what's nice. I think Addi sent me some stat today that there's nobody in the Big Ten that's averaging, I think, over 25 points and 5 assists. Lucy is doing that. So I think she's playing a little freer. I think that's the thing I've been trying to get her to do all season is just play free and not think so much. I think she's playing a lot better. I'd like to see the consistency, be there a little bit more. But she is a high volume shooter, as was Caitlin. I'm happy to see at least the point production has gone up, and we need that to continue. And then I need to get Hannah a little bit more consistent too, and get her some easier looks.
Big key for that Ohio State game was how to handle the press. How did you feel like over the 40-plus minutes, 45 minutes that went?
Really great. I told the team today what I was disappointed about. We had 20 turnovers, and I would only attribute 3 to the press, right? One thing I think I didn't do well when we were working on breaking the press can make you do 2 things. It can speed you up and you break it, and all of a sudden you take a shot that's really ill-advised. But I think what we did that contributed to our slow start was we broke the press. There's 3 or 4 of them that were behind us, and then instead of going and taking it at them, we would dribble and let everybody catch up. And then our offense was really stagnant. And I think the disconnect there was they were worried about taking any shot when I had told them I just didn't want to take a bad shot. So when you take no shot, you're halfway right and you're halfway wrong, right? And at halftime, I said, look, I want us to go. If we get an advantage, you're going to dribble in, you're going to take a layup. If it's not there, we're going to kick it over to the shooter, or we're going to 2-foot stop, and we're going to pivot, we're going to hit our trailer. And when we did that to open up the half, all of a sudden we started to get a little more aggressive. So I did something probably incorrectly in my communication where they were just a little cautious. But, it also, like, if you break the press and then you jack up a 3 and it's a long rebound and they get it and they go down to take a layup, then all of a sudden the press worked residual effect. So sometimes you're kind of darned if you do and darned if you don't. But I think our adjustments we made at halftime, I was proud of how they responded and put us in a position to win. And I do think we handled the press. We mostly made some really good passes. I think it was a couple of our young kids, a couple of our vets made Sid made a tough decision one time, but overall they took it off, right? They had to take it off. It wasn't working. So I'm happy. I think we made progress when it came to that category.
And just to show you the different types of games that you can play in the Big Ten, Rutgers was a 55-43 game, and partly due to because it seemed like Rutgers uses a lot of patience and works that clock, and then try to get a shot up toward the end, which can make for tough at the other end as well.
Yeah, I mean, our offense just wasn't flowing. I mean, the thing, we go too many minutes. We go too many minutes at times without scoring. That and free throws have been really the tail while some of the games have gone the other way. And that's what happened in the Rutgers game. We had no flow. We were never driving to kick. We couldn't get any inside presence going. It didn't matter if we were going small with Hannah, big with Addi. It was just tough sledding. And sometimes the big is like that. You just got to take any win any way that you can get it. But I certainly wasn't, really happy with how that offensive production was. They also have a really wiry center. And those wiry centers that are kind of like Hannah, I think sometimes you can look at Hannah's line and she's not producing offensively and you think, oh, Hannah, that wasn't the best game. But what you forget to see is what Hannah makes the other center do. Hannah she's fast, she runs the court. So like a post like Markowski of Nebraska, she's working extra hard because she's got to sprint down the floor harder. And then she's got to try to keep up with Hannah. So even if we don't hit Hannah, it's like Markowski's working crazy in overtime. So Markowski, that particular game, 2 or 3 games ago, she didn't have the best offensive production, and I credit Hannah for that. So now we just got to get it to where we're hitting Hannah when she needs it, and then I think she can do a little better job of delivering. So the Rutgers game, it just was one of those, you just, you get out of there, you chalk it in the win column, and you watch the film and you move on.
That's right, but the key thing is you get it in the win column, and Sydney had 14 rebounds in that contest too, so that's 29 in the last 2 games. That's just big time numbers and back-to-back double-doubles.
And that's what Sid has provided. When Sid is at her very best, when she does all that, she rebounds, she crashes, she gets a set shot 3, she penetrates to kick it, right? And I think Sid has really been doing everything that doesn't necessarily always show up in the column other than a rebound, but she does all the extra work. She's setting the screen, she's directing traffic, she's doing a lot of the talking, she's on the floor, she's diving, all those things. It kind of sets the tone. So for her to get 29 rebounds in the last 2 games is really something.
And that's a bunch. And then you take her and Hannah too, all those tip balls, just batting it out to get another possession could result in a 3-pointer. And those are just those second chance opportunities, just huge.
Well, I think last night, one of the favorite plays I kind of remember, and a few guys who watched it, Sid was going and she tapped a steal and she dove, and when she dove, she threw it, but as she threw it, the kid fouled her, right? And I think it was when she went 2 for 2 at the line. But it was a really great play. It was a hustle play. She grabbed it, and by the time she was trying to throw it, the kid either tripped her and she was stretched out. And that's just what Sid gives you, is every minute that kid is going to give you everything her heart and soul can give you.
No doubt about it. We're off and running here with Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen. And if you want to jump into the conversation, as many already have, is our Twitter account is @Iowa_Learfield or #Hawk Talk. Facebook.com/HSP Learfield. The U.S. Cellular text line, 319-853-8344. That's 319-853-8344. You can also email your question, hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. University of Iowa Energy Collaborative is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye women's basketball all season long, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Learn more at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. Also, as a proud sponsor of the Hawks, U.S. Cellular wants you to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and scrolling later. U.S. Cellular is built for us. This is Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oak Knoll, and we'll be back to the Watermill Kitchen and Bar with more Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Did you know that UI ranks near the top of the EPA's Green Power Leaderboard with 84% of our energy coming from renewable sources? Now you can be a part of the team that makes it happen. The University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, with our partner, NG Iowa, is offering full-time positions in utility operations for our campus and hospital water, heating, steam, and distribution systems. Check out the jobs and apply at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 58 years. Oak Knoll is located near the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We are a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Fran McCaffrey. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Hear that? That's the Iowa Lottery powering up the new Pac-Man scratch ticket, where you could jump your way to $50K in instant cash prizes. Even if you don't score big in your first round, you still get an extra life. Because you can enter non-winning tickets in the VIP club for a chance to win a Pac-Man arcade package, plus your share of $325,000 in cash prizes. That's a lot of Waka Waka winning. Woo-hoo! Pac-Man is registered and copyrighted by Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc. Enter and see rules at iLottery.com/VIP.
I'm Nick Jackson. I play linebacker here at the University of Iowa. On the field, I stop the run, I make the tackle, I drop in coverage.
3rd down 11. Straight back to pass is Sullivan. He's running for his life. Down he goes. Well, that's a loss of another 6. Nick Jackson.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oak Knoll, as we are back at the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. Programming note, no show next week, as both the men's and women's team, games, travel, just no time to do it. So we'll be back here on Monday, March the 3rd at 6 o'clock.
March?
Already? I can believe it. Though you'd never know outside, right?
No, absolutely not.
A little brisk today, huh?
It is, but we're hardy. We're Iowans.
We are, and you knew that everybody would show up, right?
I know.
Absolutely.
A big clap to our crowds for that.
I remember
Hawkeyes, right?
A couple of years ago, I think it was a snowstorm, and Lisa and I walked in and said there wouldn't be anybody here, but nope. Packed house as always.
I know. It's
amazing.
Great. Our fans are the best.
They absolutely are, no doubt about it. Don't forget that you can join us for Hawk Talk, as I mentioned, the next one on March the 3rd, right here at the Hyatt Regency's Coralville Watermill Kitchen and Bar. And you watch the show live each and every week, and also offering an extended happy hour, including $1 wings, $3 draft and domestic beers, $5 house wines. So come on down to the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. Join us for a great evening of Hawkeye basketball for several weeks. And next show, we'll be talking about a little postseason, but we've got 3 big regular season games left to go, and schedule's not easy. And I know you were talking a little bit about on the road, you and Indiana have a couple of ranked teams out of the last 3.
Well, when I looked at it, because there's just such a juggernaut of the middle. There's a lot of people, as of yesterday, a lot of people 9-6. A lot of people 8-6, and now some of us have gone 8-7. Some have gone to 9-6. So I looked at a lot of the people in the middle, and in my opinion, I think Indiana and us are the only ones that have a really more of the challenging. If you look at the standings, and we're the only team that has 2 in the top 10, right? So that's unfortunate, but it's also cool because it's preparing you for tournament time. But, going to Ohio State, everybody in this league will tell you it's tough to go there. And, we won one time there in the last era with Caitlin and Kate and Gabby. So now we host, UCLA, which is really tough. They've only lost once, and that was to USC, and that was on the home floor of USC. They play again Illinois. Illinois is up in the top 4, but Illinois, that's their one tough game. And they have Illinois' home is Northwestern, right? So they have one of those left. So, we just have the challenging schedule left. But I love the way our team is fighting, and we're not complaining about it, but we know what we know. And we got today. We got better today, I think. And then, we'll have tomorrow, and then we'll have the next day. And then we get an opportunity to hopefully have a really special Sunday once again.
Last couple of weeks, the regular season, does it benefit not to have like a midweek game, a Wednesday or Thursday game heading into Sunday?
I think it just benefits it at this time.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily if you were playing,
No, just
the
a little
School
break.
of the Blind on Sunday, or you're playing, UCLA. It's just at this particular point of the season, everybody's tired. I mean, I don't care who it is. Everybody is tired. The trick is to perform when you're tired, right? Even UConn, they're coming off that big win at South Carolina. They're tired, right? South Carolina's tired, right? We're all tired, whether you win a big game or lose a big game. So I think the ability to have a little rest time this week, where you're not mentally having to really engage to beat a team, and we're going to take some little bit more time off this week than I normally have taken. So I think that's just good. It's good for their bodies, and now we can go into the last 3 games of the season, and then in postseason, and we have a nice bye week at the perfect time, in my opinion.
Yeah, no question. Well, let's get some questions here. We'll go to Twitter first. Tom in Orion, Illinois. Tough loss, obviously, at Ohio State in overtime, but we talked about the effort against a really good Buckeye team, and you had to be pleased with that because a lot of teams could have packed that in. 5 minutes left to go, 4 minutes. Okay, well, wasn't our day. Let's get home, regroup. But this team said, nope, we're going to play this out for what ended up being 45 minutes.
It did. And that's the one thing that I think, if you went back to everything I've said since May, and everything I said in the non-con, and then everything I said even in that adversity streak, is they keep showing up and they keep battling. I mean, they've been a joy to coach. I mean, yeah, it's frustrating a shot doesn't go in and we don't hit a free throw, but they're just so fun because they have that resiliency. And that's the thing, if life was always fair, boy, did that team deserve to turn that thing yesterday. They listen at halftime, they're looking at you, and they're like, they're believing, and they're like, okay, we just got to do this. If we do that, we got a shot. And they do it, and they put themselves into a position. So, I mean, I really am frustrated. I'm disappointed, and that would have been so huge, right, to get it. But, man, when you're around that type of attitude and resiliency, you just have to be really happy about it. And I just believe it's going to, whatever happened yesterday, even though we came up short, that belief and that experience is going to show itself when we need it the most. And that's where I think I liked. And I love the fact that Lucy hit those 2 free throws. I love the fact that we never hung our head. And this whole season, the only team we've lost by double digits was 10 against Tennessee. And that's because we fouled. And yesterday wasn't even 8. It was under the seconds. We were like a 1-point game, and then we had really weird turnovers and whatever, and then we fouled, and it ended up being that. Not that it matters, but it's that close. So this team, with all that's, sometimes the mistakes, and we just can't quite get the free throws, or we have a turnover here and there, their belief and their resiliency, and it's kind of what's, to me, what I keep talking about. And the only reason I think I'm really love coaching is because I think it mirrors life so much. And I handle the losses better when I really think about the journey, and I think about what coaches can do. And I know that the rings and the cutting down the net is so amazing, and I want that for them. But in the end, it's really so fleeting, because it's all about what you learn and who you learn it with. And that's when I get a little bit easier accepting the loss yesterday is knowing that, man, they're learning how to be resilient and to turn something. And I couldn't be happier for them because of that.
No, and I think that's certainly the way that you have to look about a tough game, especially coming off of 6 straight wins. That was the beauty of that, and now you get back on a roll. But you're exactly right, and you go back to those tough losses. It's 2 in overtime, and then just a point here, point there, and you hate to say it, but you'd be close to undefeated in the conference
play. It really
play.
will. And sometimes, my son actually, he asked me, I think 2 games ago, he's like, oh, man, do you ever think back? Nope. I put my hand up. I go, nope. I said, no. You don't look back. I said, because.
As easy as it is to do. Right?
Well, because I think back is why we're here. It's like, if you go backwards, I think in life you go backwards and then there's regret and then there's and you can't, because everything that happened, you can't relive it, the good. You can't get it back, the bad. You just have to keep looking forward. And I think everything that this team experienced is why we're where we are today. And I just hope that yesterday what happened is going to propel them to something even bigger later on.
Let's go to Facebook. Joey is in Davenport. If you were scouting your own team, what would be the most significant pros and cons if you were watching the tape preparing for the Hawkeyes?
Joey, I can't share that because what happens if UCLA is listening? That would be bad to share that. Seriously, I think generally speaking, I'm not going to go into the details of what I think our strengths and weaknesses are. But I think I think the pros, if I was a team scouting us, is don't count this team out. Don't be looking at, Hannah's undersized. Don't be looking at Sid's undersized. Don't be looking at how, slight Taylor McCabe is by her stature. I think we just play bigger, right? So I think that is a really good pro. I think one of the cons is, we just got to be more consistent. We go too many minutes without scoring, and we lose the discipline a little bit. And it's not discipline for their own glory. It's just they want to win, so they just kind of abort the mission of maybe making one more pass or, doing a little more of a penetration, a kick, and a back screen, right? So I think that's more the con. But I think I think I'm biased here, but I think a lot of people would like to coach this team. I think their spirit, I think the way that they play. So I think there is, we're a lot of times, we're a little undersized and a little under this or under that, but I think their hearts are never under.
One thing, opposing coaches, we get an opportunity to talk to them in the pregame show, is they'll bring up you can't let Iowa get going from 3. That's not a good combination if you're trying to defend the Hawks.
Yeah, I wish that was really a lot more consistent, and it hasn't been. Had we gotten that more consistent this year, what did we shoot yesterday? Again, 30.
From 3, 9 of 25.
Yeah. So, but it wasn't until that overtime that we got that up there. I mean, at the end of the game, without that, it was well below 30. So we got to get that up there to 33% is, good, solid. And I'd like to get that to 35 to 40. But when we have had our pretty stellar games, it's been raining threes. So I think they're accurate on that.
6 out of 8 from 3 in the fourth. As we'll go back to the U.S. Cellular text line, Art is in Waterloo. Talking about the pink uniforms, as obviously all schools have a pink game. Ohio State had their gray with pink jerseys. The Hawks had their white with pink, but that's a special jersey and uniform to wear for these players. It's
a initiative really with the NCAA and the women's basketball coaches. We've had one of our most beloved coaches. Her name was Kay Yao. She was at NC State, went to a Final Four. There's been others certainly that have been affected by breast cancer, but the Kay Yao Foundation was founded after she lost her battle to breast cancer. So the women's coaches, she was just a hard person not to like. Southern, beautiful person inside out, had a really great faith. Everybody kind of got behind that, and we all know that pink is kind of the color of breast cancer awareness. So the women's basketball coaches kind of took it to a different level, and Nike really bought into that, and they offered uniforms and T-shirts and socks and all the things. And, stereotypically, a lot of girls like pink, young girls, older girls. So a lot of teams have really got behind that. So some teams go a little bit more all in than others, but that's the reason that there's a week in February that everybody has a pink game. You usually have one on the road, and you usually host one at home. And our pink game will be UCLA.
Yeah, and then the Hawks get to honor somebody close to them that is
and that's one thing
we
started a few years ago. Lisa had a really great idea, is to, instead of, we always have our last names on the back of our jerseys, we decided to put on the back of their jersey, if they wanted to, someone they're playing in honor of. And I thought that was a neat way, because so often we get so caught up in how we're playing. Did I turn it over? Did I do this, do that? It's like when you play for someone else, your teammate, but if we can really shift it and honor someone that means a lot to you, that's been fighting a battle much more important than trying to beat UCLA or Ohio State. So we started to do that, and it started with just, breast cancer, but then we really opened up to all kinds of cancer. And so it's kind of cool to see the names on the back of the jersey, and some of them have been survivors, and sadly some of them didn't make it. So it's kind of a sobering moment, I think, for all programs, when we take a moment to reflect and let the players share their stories of why they chose that name on the back of their jersey.
If you want to jump in the conversation, still time. The Twitter is at @Iowa_Learfield or hashtag Hawk Talk. Facebook, facebook.com/HSP Learfield. The U.S. Cellular text line 319-853-8344. Email hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Oak Knoll's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 58 years. Oak Knoll, conveniently located near University of Iowa Healthcare Campus, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, and downtown Iowa City. Proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Visit oakknoll.com to learn more. Don't forget, throughout the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series, Iowa Corn promotes honest, hardworking values that are uniquely Iowan. Thank you to Iowa's corn farmers who lead the nation in corn and ethanol production, feeding and fueling us all. Go to iowacorn.org to learn how corn grows Iowa. This is Hawk Talk with head coach Jan Jensen, presented by Oak Knoll, and we'll be back to the Watermill Kitchen and Bar with more Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Did you know that UI uses the same amount of energy as all the rest of Iowa City? That's why we have our own power plant, and we're committed to making it clean. By 2025, we'll rely completely on climate-friendly, alternative fuels. Deep in the boiler rooms, engineers from the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative are optimizing the power plant so it can handle these new fuels more efficiently. Learn more about it at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. That's uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just needs someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing US Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever. Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to US Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 58 years. Oaknall is located near the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknall.com to learn more. We are a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment. Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall. We are back at the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. Appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Our next show will be Monday, March 3rd at 6 o'clock. So I think we've only got two more. It'll be one the Monday after that. So we are closing out on this basketball season, but yet so much
Rob,
time to go.
Can we just give a round of applause to the GOAT of assistance and strategy, Jenny Fitzgerald, who's in the house right here?
Yes, she is.
I did it, Jenny. I go, man, I haven't seen you much. And she's like, wow.
She loves that attention too, right?
Yeah,
we all know.
Jenny hates attention.
I know.
So I'm very much relishing in the fact that we could give her some applause.
We always ask her to come every week.
I know, but she's always busy. Probably pickleballing with that table over there. That's what the deal is. So we're honored there.
That's a big deal now, isn't it?
I know.
I wouldn't play
anybody at that table. Anybody here, don't play that table. They'll lose your money.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go back to the U.S. Sailor text line. We've got a lot of questions coming in. Kevin, talking about Lucy, and you mentioned how free that she has been playing as of late. And you feel like she's playing too unselfish early on in the season, just trying to get a feel for things, just now playing like the elite player that we know that she is.
Well, it just is hard because, she came in and she was a point guard and she's a senior and she's trying to lead. She wants to do what we need her to do. She needs to get people involved, and it's just really hard. And that's where the portal is difficult, especially when you're in a point guard position. So we finally settled in, and I think everybody started to understand the offense better, and she did too. So now that she has played freer and she finally believed that I told her she had the green light. And I think we got to a place when sometimes if she forced it, I tell her, hey, I don't like that shot. It doesn't mean I don't want her to shoot the next one. And I think now we have that good trust built up where she understands that, okay, I maybe rushed that shot a little bit, but coach is fine if I take it to the rack the exact next time. And I think that just takes time to build up, and it takes time to build with her teammates. So I'm just thankful that we got to where we have gotten. And I like to think we have a lot of basketball left to play, and I know Lucy will lead us.
We talked a little bit on the pregame show yesterday about the seniors, where now we're coming down the stretch here, and January's gone, obviously. When you're right in the middle of it, I don't think you can really see the end when you're in the middle of the conference season. But now you can, because there's only 3 regular season games left, and then you're into tournament play. And so it's got to be some urgency there with the seniors.
And there is. It's urgency, but it's a lot of nostalgia, right? It's just like, whoa, how'd I get here? And they look at to the right and they see the freshmen who aren't playing that are kind of lamenting and they're bummed. And I mean, they're all still in, but they're just, my gosh, it's just such a total experience. And you want to get in their heads and say, listen, this is still the best time of your life, right? So I see them doing a lot of leading and shoulders, hugs on shoulders, and also understanding that, man, I only have, I got, 2 games left at home. That's all I got, right? And so they're, it's just human nature. They're going to the nth degree, and they're trying to get everybody to come with them. So it's urgency, yes, but it's the cool part. It's a lot of nostalgia. They don't want it to be over. So when you mix nostalgia with urgency and the other kids come along with you, it can be a really fun ending, and I'd like to think that's where we're heading.
And you always tell players in college, boy, it goes fast. Enjoy it. And I'm not sure they realize it until maybe now.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I don't think that they do. It takes a little bit of time, but I think Sid and Lucy, they have a good head on their shoulders, and they think they've been doing a really good job this whole year. But it's like all of us, right? When you kind of really stare at the end of when you retire, or the end of any era, you're so busy preparing for it. Then when all of a sudden the prep is done, it's like, holy buckets, it's really here. And we're getting close to that. It's really here.
Got an email question. I saw it on Twitter about Addi Deal becoming a McDonald's All-American, and that is a rarefied air. Can you just discuss what that means and how hard it is to be classified as a high school player as a McDonald's All-American?
It really is. There's only 12 of them.
Yeah.
And we've had, Caitlin was one of them, and we also had Lindsay Richards back in the day, Sam Logic, and Johanna Salverson. And so 4 in all the years we've been here. And it's a really great honor. It's the highest honor any high school kid can get. And Addi Deal is the real deal. She's great, and if you watch the highlight tapes, I just watch them sometimes just to smile because she's, I really got blessed when Lisa retired and Addi Deal held. I really knew, that was really just such a blessing because she is a great young woman and she is a great basketball player. She can pass it. She's got great size. Her range on a 3 is fun. She can get to the rim. She's a straight A student. She is everything you want in an Iowa women's basketball player, and the Hawk fans are going to absolutely love her. So there's not a day that goes by where I'm not thankful that kid's going to be here. Absolutely.
And you're not going to throw great out there for everybody.
No,
so that
I'm
says
not.
something.
And we got to figure out ways to use her, but she's just McDonald's All-Americans are just cut differently. I'm telling you. Jenny's here. She can tell you. They just do things differently. They approach life differently. They approach the game differently. And when you can get one, they can change you. And I'm really hopeful that as we ascend into this new era, she's going to have a lot on her shoulders, but she's a kid that can handle it.
Good stuff. Oakdale's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for now 58 years. Oakdale is conveniently located near University of Iowa Healthcare, Kinnick, Carver, and downtown Iowa City. Proud sponsor, as always, of Hawkeye Athletics. Visit oaknall.com to learn more. We'll talk a little UCLA when we come back. This is Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall. And we'll be back to the Watermill Kitchen and Bar with more Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Hey, Hawkeyes, while you're hard at work in class or on the court, there's a team behind the scenes making sure that the power keeps going, the water keeps flowing, and the temps inside are just right. Introducing the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. The collaborative is a public-private partnership between UI, NG, and Meridium. It delivers the funds UI needs to drive our academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Check it out at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Our mission at Oaknall is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 58 years. Oaknall is located near the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknall.com to learn more. We are a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Fran McCaffrey. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment, Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to Walmart.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
I'm Wyatt Black, defensive line, Iowa. On the field, I take on double teams, stop the run, and sack the quarterback.
Sullivan now runs for his life, and he's obliterated by Y.A. Black. Here's the snap, the spot.
Yes,
and it's blocked. It. Kick is
don't touch it. Don't touch the ball.
Hawks get it back. Y.A. Black, that man, what a momentum shift there.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
Not all internet is created equal. It's a lot like choosing a quarterback. Technically, you could sign up any new rookie provider on the block, but the success of every device in your home depends on it. Will they perform in the clutch, or will they buffer under pressure? Extreme provides the speed you need with a 100% gigabit technology network and amplified Wi-Fi. And unlike signing a quarterback, Extreme Internet requires no contracts. There's only one pick to lead your team. It's Extreme, powered by Mediacom.
Remaining moments of Hawk Talk with Jensen as the Hawkeyes prepare this week for a UCLA. That is a 1 o'clock tip. So we'll be on the air at 12:30 for pregame show. Ought to be another terrific atmosphere. Powder Blue coming to town, as we've talked about USC and UCLA both tough outs in a conference that has expanded to 18 teams. And on the U.S. Cellular text line, how do you handle them?
You know, very carefully. You know, we're, I mean, she's 6'7". We all, Hawk fans, we tried to guard Cardosa from South Carolina. You can't, unless you have 6'7", right? And that's why they were undefeated. And it was a rivalry game. And that's why when we play Iowa State, Iowa, Drake, UNI, everything is out the window when you play these teams. And this is a crosstown rivalry when USC hosted them and beat them. They know each other so well. Only team that has beat them. And so you're going to try to crowd her. You're going to try to be in the passing lanes, a sagging player to player, right? You'll try that. Everybody tries that. But you just have to play your principles, and there's some kids you can maybe sag off a little bit, but they're number 3 in the nation for the reason. They got one of the greatest point guards, Kiki Rice, Lauren Betts. We try to recruit the heck out of her. Some of you may be familiar, but Addie O'Grady and Lauren were high school teammates. How about that in high school? 6'7", 6'5".
A little tough to stop.
They did win a state championship, just in case you're wondering. So you just you can't do a whole lot. I mean, you double. She passes out so well. You can try it sometimes. So you're just going to try to mix it up on them. But it's just really difficult when you can recruit a 6'7" and you get them. They make your life a little easier because they're a rim protector. You can't do a lot of things when you drive in. But she's really, when she gets it, she can score pretty well. So we're going to try the best we can. But, I'm not going to say all our secrets, but really there's no secret for 6'7".
And right now, as far as the bracketology is concerned, they're the number 1 overall seed, even though they're number 3 in the country, which says most people believe that it's probably the best team out there. It
really is, because they just don't have a lot of holes, right? They got a great point guard, got a good off guard that can shoot it lights out, a really athletic 3. The 4 and the 5 they have are, Hannah-like, both of them that come in, and they're really well coached. Corey Close is a really great coach. She's a great leader. She does a lot of transformational type of leadership. She does a lot of things with the coaches organization. So they're just a really nice team, a really good team. So we'll have our hands full, but I like the way our kids fight. So I like our chances, but it's a tall order literally and figuratively.
Yeah, and we saw them live last year. They preceded our Sweet 16 game, the LSU UCLA game, which came right down to the last 2 or 3 minutes, and it was anybody's game.
It really did. So it should be an exciting day in Carver. I know everybody's excited, and I love about our fan base. We're really well educated. We support all women's basketball. I thought it was really cool. We played at USC, and a lot of times people boo other teams' good players, but we really applauded, their Juju Watkins, and I think that just shows a lot of respect. I'm not a big booing person ever, and I just love our fan base, and I know they'll be showing up, and I know you'll be with us just like you have been every step of the way, and I'm telling you, help us so much in recruiting. I can't thank you guys in this room enough right now, but everybody listening. It's not like this everywhere, and that's why we're getting the attention of the nation, and it's why we got a kid like Addi Deal to hold, because she knows what it's like and how special it is here. So thank you to Hawkeye Nation.
Jen, real quick, when the team leads you out, is there any rhyme or reason to who does that?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know when they go out or how they do it. I know what we do for our pregame warm-up, but I think they just talk about it. There's a tipping drill we do. You start smaller to taller, probably to come out of the game, to the beginning of the game. Halftime, I really don't know why they do that. I'm sure superstitions are involved.
Well, you're busy at the time. Jan, appreciate it. We'll see you on Sunday.
God bless and go Hawks.
And stay tuned for Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffrey, featuring Seydou Traore and Sherman Dillard coming up next here at the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. This is Hawk Talk from Learfield.
When you live in the Midwest, you're accustomed to leading the nation in certain things, from corn and pork production to eggs and soybeans. And now we're adding another product to that list: clean, renewable wind energy. By investing in wind turbines and partnering with area farmers and landowners, Mid-American Energy is harvesting wind power that's homegrown right in our very own backyard, which not only provides customers with low, stable energy rates, but also the support to make our Midwest communities safer and stronger.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Hear that? That's the Iowa Lottery powering up the new Pac-Man scratch ticket, where you could jump your way to $50K in instant cash prizes. Even if you don't score big in your first round, you still get an extra life, because you can enter non-winning tickets in the VIP club for a chance to win a Pac-Man arcade package, plus your share of $325,000 in cash prizes. That's a lot of waka winning. Woo-hoo! Pac-Man is registered and copyrighted by Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc. Enter and see rules at iLottery.com/VIP.
Not all internet is created equal. It's a lot like choosing a quarterback. Technically, you could sign up any new rookie provider on the block, but the success of every device in your home depends on it. Will they perform in the clutch, or will they buffer under pressure? Extreme provides the speed you need with a 100% gigabit technology network and amplified Wi-Fi. And unlike signing a quarterback, Extreme Internet requires no contracts. There's only one pick to lead your team. It's Extreme, powered by Mediacom.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just need someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 58 years. Oak Knoll is located near the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We are a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, this has been Hawk Talk with Jensen, presented by Oak Knoll Retirement Community. Also brought to you by 988. There is hope with a 988 lifeline. Call or text 988 for free, 24/7. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Oak Knoll, an active life care community. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.